Our fans are salt of the earth. ComicsGate, those of you who have been here since 2017 and who are still here, let me just pour my heart out to you right now. You guys are the best people in the world. You have endured slander, the likes of which I have personally never seen in my life, and you've stayed true. You've been honest. You've been here. You've behaved yourselves. I mean, everything that was said about you was a lie. All of you lies. And you guys have just been here and just asked for one thing: respect and decent comics. And for that, we salute you. ComicsGate stands strong because of you. Thank you for backing our comic books. We're doing our best to give you all of those things, even though I'm 50 years late on all of my comics. We're doing our best to give you what you we're insisting. We're with you. We're with your crusade, ComicsGate. Let me see.
Hell yeah, ComicsGate is the best, man. It is the best. It's the best thing I've ever been part of in the comics industry, and I've been around for almost 40 years.
I will always sim for the chat. The chat is ComicsGate. The chat is the fans are ComicsGate all the time. Opinionated News Guy says they didn't lie about me. I'm an a-hole.
Well, we're all a-holes. But
yeah, everybody's a fucking asshole. But shit, look at like Mark Waid. That dude's fucking nearly psychotic.
Dan Slott denounced Mark Waid in our conversation. It was fantastic. I've got so much great stuff. I'm like, do you know what Mark Waid did? He just told my fans to go fuck themselves with a rusty chainsaw. Do you understand? This guy's insane. He was on my chat. He absolutely flipped out on me just because there was a Mark Waid impersonator in the chat. Everything else went great. He said, I don't know what's wrong with him. And I was like, yeah, awesome.
I like that it couldn't just be a chainsaw. It had to be a rusty chainsaw.
Had to hurt more, yeah.
There is a thing, though, with comic pros, especially comic writers, are very pretentious and expect, like, everybody to drop down and suck their dick at like, that. I mean, that's just it. Like, it really, I think writers are the worst with that. And I remember that Mark Waid thing and him in the chat, because wasn't he like traveling or something? And he was like, take this down right now or some shit like that.
Mark Waid's entire thing, he was part of the effort to get me canceled. That was the whole thing. And his plan was to be on the show and for something to happen that would assist in, dehumanizing, unpersoning me. But I didn't know that. I was quite sincere. My idea for my channel early on was just to interview comic book professionals and do the definitive interviews with these people. So my channel would be like, hey, do you want to know everything about Dan Slott? You do?
No,
well, it's on my
Yeah.
channel, like the ultimate interview with Dan. I did Jason Fabic. I did some really, really good creators as well,
Right.
and did great interviews with them. Scott Lobdell. And I don't even remember how many others, but the two that really stand out are Dan Slott and Mark Waid, because they were so clearly passive aggressively trying to undermine and destroy me. But the interview, Mark Waid said to me, everybody told me like not to come on here, not to do this show, but I just went, I got this. You know what I mean? So what he was saying was, I'm going to do something. But anyway, nothing happened. And then the next day on Twitter, when people were giving him shit about having been on my show and therefore helped platform a hate monger like me, somebody said, there was a fake Mark Waid in the chat that was making fun of you the whole time. And Mark Waid tweeted out in response to that in all caps, "Thank you!" exclamation point. And then he promptly went to my Facebook DMs and sent me the most incredible. Everybody's seen it at this point.
Yeah.
Fix this now. Fucking fix this now. Your fans are monsters, Ethan. I don't need this. I'm on my way to Paris. I don't have time for you fix this now. Honestly, it was, I hate to say this, it was autistic. It was absolutely insane. Just weird, crazy behavior that was fixated on this one little non-existent problem. Abusing me, screaming abuse as though I worked for him or something like that. And I went ahead and shared that with everybody. I don't think he was expecting that. I said, you owe me an apology. And then I shared the whole thing with everybody. It just became Mark Waid legend. Fix this now.
But that's the thing. Mark Waid's used to people jumping when he says jump. Like it doesn't matter whether he's working for you or not. Like he's like, fashioned himself as like this sort of like pillar of comics, and whether he is or isn't, that I don't think anybody deserves that type of treatment. Like, I mean, like that's really just bad for their ego. It's bad for everybody around them. And like that, in his case, he has a false sense of reality. He thinks he's somebody when he walks to the grocery store. He's just one motherfucker standing in line to do self checkout like everybody else. We all shit, guys.
Yeah,
we
right.
all
also I
all of us
just like everybody else.
Anybody that knows Mark Waid or has worked with him, they've all experienced him melt down at one point or another. I mean, it's his personality. He's a pretty ballistic guy.
Yeah, I mean, he allegedly punched a wall in his office when he was pissed off at someone in CrossGen.
That's correct.
Also,
all right, calm down, Ethan. Thank you.
Also, when his ex-boss, like, didn't his wife die? The guy who crossed in, he mailed a black wreath to him.
Yeah,
black
right.
wreath.
Yeah. Nice
That's
guy.
horrible.
He said, "If your wife could only see you now."
Yeah,
it was
some morbid shit.
That's what we hear. Yeah, that's really terrible.
Can you imagine if one of us did that to somebody in the industry? You know, fucking Christ.
I did it to Shane the day after he fell out of his chair. I sent him a black wreath and said, "If Yancy could see you now." He didn't say nothing.